All right, hi friends. Paul and Mindy again from the Barn Dominium on our series we're calling Same Day Different Shirt from that, and I'll explain that later, like maybe much later. But we were sharing with you about our first Texas Thanksgiving, which was at a campground with several RVs and other people around.
Lake Whitney.
And Lake Whitney is gorgeous. There was a lake. I didn't show it to Mindy because she was talking. If you know Mindy, you know she was doing a lot of talking, so she didn't get to go out. But the whole thing was perhaps one of the most amazing experiences that I've ever had in my life. So just going down there, I would call it Speedy Rides Again. Because even in the Camry, which is a little underpowered, the flow of traffic, which I like to go to, that's my natural thing, and actually just a little bit faster than the flow of traffic, just stay with that, was 90 miles an hour. And so we were told it would be like 45 minutes to an hour south. And that wasn't the case. It was 20 minutes with a gas stop, a hamburger, and petting dinosaurs on the way there. It was amazing and incredible. Then the second one, I said petting dinosaurs. This was the real deal of it. We pull into a place called Hillsboro. Neighborhood, the city of Hills, which is ironic because we're in Texas. And there's
Just
flat, just flat. So we pull into Hillsboro, and it's Americana, right? It's great on everything. You just feel like, yeah, this is it, right? Like the spirit of America. And then just before we have to turn right to go down a different road, I look to my left, and in front of this building that says vegan eatery on it are these petrified dinosaurs. And I just catch it out of this, and so we had to go around the whole block, and I say, Minnie, you gotta take a picture of this. There was, besides this vegan eatery, there was petrified dinosaurs there, which was very exciting. I'm a dinosaur fan. And one of the things it said on it was shakes are available, vegan shakes. And I was, in my head, I was like, the dinosaurs are hanging out. They're trying to get healthy, right? And one looks down and says like, hey, look, vegan shakes. Maybe we should have some vegan shakes. But remember, most dinosaurs are carnivorous. And then I realized that's probably why they all died. Is they're not getting their meat that they need. They went vegan, and then they just petrified like that. Everybody thinks it was like a meteor or something like that. They were starving. And then they just straight to rocks. But they're still there. You can get out and you can pet them. Okay? It was beautiful. I'm educationally blessed on this one. And then the next one.
So it's probably not actual hills.
It's because of the dinosaurs hills. Yeah, that's all that it was. It wasn't actual hills. And then there was the odd case of the broccoli cemetery. So we get to the campground, and you weren't here for this one. We get to the campground. We have to go to this guard shack. All visitors had to have a little on their windshield, right? That says, and you have to pay in. It was a gated community, which means it's classy, and that was cool. And so you stayed in the car where it was safe, and I got out and went into this guard shack, which is just three shacks put together. They call it a cabin. That's what it was. I go in, there's the plastic shield kind of thing you have to stay behind, and you just walk up and you tell them like what's going on, right? So I said, hey, brand new to Texas. This is our first time here at Lake Whitney or anything else. And they go, oh, that's fantastic. We get to chat. And they said, well, where are you from? If this is like your first month. And I said, well, most recently from the Northeast. but before that, the state of Washington. And one of the ladies said, oh, okay, because you don't have that regular Northeast vibe about you. And the other lady who had apparently never been there and say, what would that look like? And then I thought about all my experiences in like New Jersey and New York. And so I just started swearing at her. I mean, with a smile on my face, but I just started swearing at her. And the lady just started laughing. She was just rolling. Now, I, being in very nature Paul, when somebody laughs at something I do, I just keep on going. And for like a full minute straight, I'm just like kindly swearing at these women. And they're just laughing beyond belief. One of them's laughing, I think, because she's nervous about the other lady laughing so much. Right? And so we get all done, and finally somebody else walks in, and then they walk back out again because there's some guy in there swearing. And so I get done, and the other lady's like chuckling, and she says, why are you, she just asked the other lady, why are you laughing so hard? Because this lady was losing it. And she goes, because I lived there for a year, and that's exactly what it was. You nailed it. And I look at the other lady, and she says, well, welcome to Texas. It's the most friendly place in the world. I love it. She goes, what are you doing now? And I said, I'm looking for a job. She goes, oh, what do you do? To which I said, well, I used to be a pastor. And again, she laughs and goes, well, welcome to Texas. We did our little transaction there. We all laughed. I came back and I got in the car. I told you about it, and you didn't believe me then either. So then I put the little sticker up, and we're going down the road to the campground there. And we're in a campground, right? And you saw a sign. What did the sign say?
Kids are not cargo. Strap them in.
Kids are not cargo. Strap them in. So what happened the whole time before that when the family was trying to get to the campground? Is this a Texas thing? Like just put the kids on the top or whatever? Let them do a Teen Wolf surfing thing on the family Camaro? Or like on the bumper? Or what's going on? But now that you're like 5 feet from your campground, strap them in. We don't want them getting out kind of thing. So signs were really telling. And at this point in time, I'm really looking forward to a good time, right? So the sign was there. And this is weird to me. Like I am a physical person, right? And I'm used to when you greet somebody, you shake hands, you maybe some hugging kind of thing going on, right? At least my friends here, they have the no hug hello, which is weird. Like you get out and the acknowledgement is like, hey, how you? It's kind of like, hello. And then you just move right into conversation. And I realize the people that move to Texas, it's because they don't want to touch anybody. They just need that amount of room. And so it was delightful. We just showed up, and it's like we'd been talking for hours, and we just inserted ourselves in. And so that's the no hug hello. So I have, believe it or not, a little social anxiety, right? And I'm trying to work. One of the things that I do with my social anxiety is I overeat. And I'm trying to be better about that. So the other thing that I do is if there's any activity in the world, I'll go do that activity so I'm not like pre-eating. And so they have cornhole here. So I go over and Bridget and Michael's son, Nathan, awesome kid, we start playing cornhole. And pretty soon, as everybody else is around, our hostess, Bridget, turns around and yells and says, all right, food's ready, everybody come over. And then she turns around and starts talking again. And then I notice a few people like are going over there, but they're going beyond. And so apparently come to dinner really does mean go use the bathroom or something like that. And I noticed that nobody's doing anything. And so I want to watch this as a social experiment. And then about 5 minutes later, Bridget turns around again and re-invites us in a more forceful way. And so when her son starts walking over there, I think, like, maybe we should go. And I asked Nathan on the way over, I said, I was wondering how long we were going to push it and wait and see what your mom did when, like, she was pushed to the limit. And he was like, well, probably wouldn't get in much trouble. I mean, she probably wouldn't kick me out of the house or anything. She goes, and she can't do that to you. And I was like, yeah. And then I realized we're living in one of Bridget's houses, and she literally could kick us out of the house. And so from then on, if Bridget said, come eat, I came to eat. So we get there, everybody finally gets there, and for a no hug hello kind of culture, we're also like a spiritual family. And so when it was time to pray, we all held hands, which is cool. I grew up with that too. And then one more person needed to go to the bathroom, and so I tried to get my hands loose. But apparently once you hold hands in the prayer circle, you hold hands until you're done with the prayer. So we stood around for another 5 minutes holding each other's hands, which was weird to me. But if the Spirit leads, you keep on doing it, right? And so then Michael leads us in a really long 3-sentence prayer for that. And then he says, amen, and music comes over the loudspeakers, and it's country music, which of course is a paradox, country music. And then in unison, everybody gets in 2 lines facing each other and does a line dance over to the tables. I love Texas, man. I just didn't know about it. And so I kind of stepped away. I was going to observe about it. And so I didn't stand in line at all. I wanted to see if there were any other customs that I should know about. And so what was great is there were, 2 turkeys and a ham. And so they were kind of telling us about all the food and what you do with it, right? And he said, there's one baked ham. One of the hams was baked, and one of the turkeys was smoking, like he was telling the story of it. And I thought to myself, I'm worried about how they treat their animals in Texas. If one of them was baked and one of them was smoking, while like the poor little pigs in the bacon, like how do they roll up their joints or whatever? But it was baked out of their, it tasted delicious. It was amazing. So I don't know what kind of weed they're feeding their animals, but it's good. I mean, it was delicious of what there was. So we prayed, we ate, and went back to playing cornhole, and this time it was an official game with people. And I said, are there any special rules that I need to know about? Because house rules when you go to someplace else, right? And they said, yes, there's a couple of them that you need to know about because we're in Texas. And by the way, the cornhole boards were the American flag. Oh man, that's great. Felt a little weird tossing bags at the flag, but I get what's going on. They said, if you get it directly into the hole, like you don't run it up the board or anything, if you get it directly into the hole on the fly, then you have to take your thumbs and you stick them in your belt, and you take 3 heel toes to the left, 3 heel toes to the right, and then you pull out your fingers and you shoot them like a cowboy. And then you lean back and say, America. How awesome is that? And so almost right away, this happens. And I do this. I'm like, bam, America. And they just fall out laughing. Apparently that's not a thing. I said, what happens when you lose? Because I'm highly competitive, but I wasn't throwing that well that day. And they said, oh, you have to sit on your spurs. That's all I know about. You got to sit on your spurs. Rest of the day, played cornhole. My bottom hurts a little bit now. We did some bike riding, did some visiting, and it was for our first Texas Thanksgiving. It was amazing.
I think that you had a different Thanksgiving than I did.
What? What story would you tell?
Well, ate some food, talked to some people, made some friends, played some games, came home. That was pretty much my day.
That's a horrible story.
No, it's a great story.
All right.
It was a great day. We had a good time. It was a good time.
All I have to say, friends, welcome to Texas. I'll catch you next time. See you later. Bye.